Happy Facebook Live time. Hi everyone, Melissa Kerman here with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. Joining you today for my weekly Facebook Live. I got some fun in store today, and including projects, of course, some announcements and updates, and other fun things. So when you join in, please comment and say who you are, where you're from. I love hearing from people, and whether you're joining in for the live or the replay, I love to see your comments and to have dialogue with you here on Facebook, so or on YouTube. Love meeting people that way. It's really an awesome part of doing the lives and YouTube. So welcome if you're just joining in. Let's see, so basics, announcements, projects, the regular routine that I do on my Treehouse show. Hi Barbara, welcome. Yay, so glad to see people comment. I guess I want to start by just saying the connection and community piece of doing this is the most rewarding part, really. Being a demonstrator for 16 years, not just demonstrators where I'm doing demonstrator events and my clubs, but also meeting people online and through Facebook and YouTube. And I never really quite was sure how I would feel about the online thing. There is a sort of imbalance a little bit in the whole thing because you guys can see me and I can't see you. So I really rely on your comments and other ways that we connect to know you're out there and for me to sort of get to know you a little bit. So please comment and share and let me know you're out there, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. Okay, so on to announcements. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but Paper Pumpkin is 7 years old in March. It's been around for 7 years and it's gotten better and better every year. The kits are really pretty awesome now. So the March kit, and they usually do something special in March because that's the anniversary. This year is 7 years. So in this year's kit, this month's March's kit, there'll be an extra stamp set. So you're not going to just get one stamp set, you're going to get a second one as well. So that's pretty exciting and fun. So this is a great time to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. And if you're going to do it, one thing to consider is to do a prepaid set of kits. So when you do 3 or more prepaid kits, you can get a celebration item, or more than one if you do 6 kits or 12 kits. So it's a pretty awesome way to take advantage of Paper Pumpkin. But because you're getting the extra set in March, it's a good time to try it out if it's something that you want to consider. It's an all-inclusive kit, everything you need to make paper crafting projects in there. So pretty cool, and also fun to give as a gift as well. So something to keep in mind. All right, so other announcements. My Painted Poppies class is coming up for the in-person participants on February 28th, and I also have a class to go option for people who are not nearby. And the registration deadline is tomorrow. Hi Christy, welcome, good to see you here. So tomorrow's the last day to RSVP. So quick little rundown on those options. There's 3 options. There's the get a little bit of product, there's get more product, and then there's get the most product. So the $30 option includes a quarter pack of designer series paper, a quarter pack of sequins, some of which you will use in the class. The $38 option, just $8 more, gets you the quarter pack of designer series paper and the Painted Poppy stamp set, and then the $68 option gives you the bundle and a quarter pack of designer series paper. So for the $30 option, most of what you're paying for is a class fee. For the $38 option, you're paying a little bit and then mostly just getting a product. So most of the class is free in that case. And then when you buy the bundle for the $68, you're basically getting a free class with your product purchase. So just options. So if on the product-based selection on my, let's see, it's the tutorials and classes tab on my site. Product-based classes is the first choice, and there's actually PayPal links and ways to sign up. And I should also remind you that for the $68 option, you get to pick a celebration item. So that's pretty awesome. Hi Carol, hi Kimmy, welcome. Okay, so that is it for the Painted Poppies class. One more thing. If you already have the Painted Poppies stamp set, or you already have the bundle, you can replace out the product for the equal amount of product or less. So if that's the case with you, if you go ahead and you can email me first, or you can sign up and pay and then email me afterwards. Just make sure you email me immediately afterwards so that I won't go ahead and turn around and order that product, because I do need to order probably Saturday once our registration is closed as of tomorrow. So just something to keep in mind. So I also am using sentiments on the cards, but there aren't sentiments in the Painted Poppies set. So some suggested alternative stamp sets you might want to choose are the Peaceful Moments set or the Positive Thoughts set. I'm using images from both of those in my my cards for that class. And we will make 8 cards, so 2 each of 4 designs, and they're really beautiful. There are sneak peeks on my website too, so you can check that out. All right, so next announcement up. I'm just going to tell you why it is the best time to buy the starter kit before the end of February. So, and I'm going to tell you why. So here's the reason. Number 1, you get the starter kit, which is awesome, $99. You pay $99 plus tax, and you get $126 for $125 of products. You get extra product. You get the 3 things during Sale-A-Bration: the cutter, the designer paper sampler, and then also any stamp set of your choosing. I think the most expensive one is, what did I say, $47 in the catalog, so you can pick any stamp set in the catalog. And then last but not least is, if you join my team, you get free access to my technique classes. So if you join in February, you will get free the electronic materials for the February class. Now you have to tell me you want this, but you would get it for February, April, and June. So you would stay active. Even if you buy the starter kit and you do nothing, although that's not what I'm encouraging people to do, but if you do that, you would stay active through the end of July, even if you do nothing. So it's a great way to try out my technique classes. And for team members who opt in to getting those free technique classes, they have to, you only get them like starting current, right? So you can't go back in time and get the past ones for free. It's only here moving forward. So as of March 1st, that Northern Lights class will not be an option for anybody on my team to get unless they want to pay for it. So you have to tell me ahead of time. So that's why joining now, you would get the February, April, and June kits, no matter what. Not kits, the technique class electronic materials, and be very clear. If you join March 1st, you'll only get the April and June ones, because anyway, you'd stay active for the same amount of time even if you start in March. So I hope that all makes sense. So it's a great time to buy the starter kit, not just because it's a great package from Stampin' Up, but also because you get something free from me. And you also get my Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundle every month for free as well. So if you're on the fence, now's a good time to leap. So let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer any questions, and either by phone or email or any other way. Facebook, you name it. Okay, so what else? All right, so I'm going to move right on to just a little bit of sharing. I've got some sharing, a few different things, but I want to start with some cards that people sent me, and I'm not sure if I shared this one, but I want to do sort of a shout out to 4 people. One is Christy Chance, who I think is on here, and she sent me this lovely card. And Christy's sort of a testament to part of the wonderful aspects of community, because we've had several phone conversations and kind of getting to know each other that way. She lives an hour and a half or 2 hours away, and she's coming to some of my classes at the end of the month. She's actually coming to Northern Lights and the Poppies class. So I'm so excited to meet her and actually to see her face to face, because she's seen my face, but I haven't seen her. So I'm so glad to be getting to meet Christy. And then also, let's see. So next up is Sally Powers, and she usually joins us. Sally is based in Korea. She is a civilian working in the military, and she is the sweetest. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, she sent me a package the other day. So this is all about the community that I just love. So this is the card she sent. Really sweet card. And then she had this custom made for me, and I'm just going to show you, okay? So it's my logo. It actually says Melissa's Crafting Treehouse at the bottom. I'm shaking, can you tell? Isn't that pretty? It's with my logo. She's so sweet. Okay, and then in addition, she, and let's see, put that down. And then in addition, she had some wonderful bags made for me. Oh, yay, Christy. And you can see my face has a big smile too. I got to show you. So I was just tickled. Sally had these bags made for me. Is that not the cutest thing? And was that not the sweetest thing to do? I'm just floored. I was floored by the package, totally unexpected, and just so sweet. So I have to figure out fun ideas for how to give these. I'm thinking my team maybe. I'm thinking my club maybe. I don't know. Shh, don't tell. Chime in. Tell me what you think the occasion should be for sending this cute little bag to somebody or giving the cute little bag. So I'm very excited to have things on with my logo on it. So that's a little shout out to Sally. Yay, Sally, thank you so much. And then I have a card, a gorgeous card sent to me by Barbara Moose, who is here today. Is that not beautiful? She used, oh, what is that? The galvanized foil right there for the heart. So pretty. I was so touched that she sent this to me. And again, just a wonderful way to connect with people, and just really surprising to me that that I can have that kind of connection, even though I've never met these people in person. And there are several of you, you know, I meet all of you if I could. Who I hope at some point I'll meet in the future. I had somebody who introduced herself to me, a fellow demonstrator, at our Atlanta event, and just loved that she, you know, she had seen my face on Facebook. At Facebook Lives, but it's hard for me to remember everybody's name, so she introduced herself, and I just love that. So anyway, awesome. And then one other shout out, Shelly Nichols. She just joined my team just a few days ago, and I was so excited because she told me that she's been following me for a very long time and finally decided to take the leap. She actually wanted to sign up for the Northern Lights class, so she's in, and she's a demonstrator on my team, and now I get to keep building my community. So it's just really fun and rewarding. So thank you all for being here and being part of my community, and, you know, comment and talk to me and share with me and send me cards. And I'll send you goodies too if you buy from me. All right, so moving right along, celebrating my community, you guys. It's wonderful. All right, so you guys may be aware that there are some new celebration items that are going live as of March 3rd. And as a demonstrator, I'm able to pre-order those. And I should say, if you do join and you buy the starter kit, you can actually purchase those celebration items that are going live in March on your starter kit, which is a really fun option. So I'm going to show you the ones that I got. There are 5 new celebration items. I only got 2 of them. Got to refrain, you know, from buying everything. So I'm going to just show you. The 2 things I got are the papers. I just love the papers. When you guys see this, you're going to probably know. So hold on a sec. Okay, you've got to reach over here. Okay, so these are one of the new celebration papers. Now it's, the paper is not glossy. We've had a paper that's kind of similar with these sort of embossed elements that was glossy. This one isn't, but this is going to be so fun to play with, to color in and to use on projects. So stay tuned for some things made with that. And coming back. And then the other paper, and now that paper I just showed you, there's 4 patterns. You get 3 each of the 4 patterns, so you get 12 altogether. And now this one is a specialty vellum in the purple posy. I'm trying to remember now the colors. I think it's, oh, geez. Maybe you guys remember. I am having a mind block on words these days. I think that's mint macaron. Oh, pool party. I think that's pool party, maybe? No. Pool party and mint I think that's what they are. Maybe somebody can chime in if you guys know. But anyway, just see the texture on there? I have a piece of white cardstock in behind so you can kind of see it a little bit better, but that's going to be so fun to play with, just really subtle. All right. So I think that is the extent of my actual sharing, show and tell aspect of the event. So next, we're going to get into the project demonstration. You guys ready? Of course you are. So the thing I'm going to feature today is pear baguette. I don't know. In person, it doesn't look like pear. You know what? It's probably on the back of the package. Hold on. Of course it is. Except for I have to find the package. Okay, I'm off camera. Where is it? Here's my package. It is Pool Party, yes, Purple Posy, and Soft Seafoam. So the green is Soft Seafoam. That makes more sense. Alrighty. So the featured product today, even though I'm using a bunch of stuff, as I always like to do, is the, and of course I have to remember the name of this one too. I had it, I put it in my Facebook post. Pleased as Punch, the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. I think I may have showed it last week. It's just this fabulous, bright, cheery, colorful paper. And I have mainly 2 projects, but there are multiple variations on one of them. I think it's either 4 or 5, maybe 4. I think maybe there's 4 variations on one of the projects, and then 2 variations of the other. So I've got a bunch of fun things to show you. So anyway, does anybody else out there just love this Pleased as Punch designer paper? So this is part of the coordination offering. So these all coordinate with products that are either in the January to June mini catalog or the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So there's a punch that coordinates with the hearts, and a punch that coordinates with the flowers and with the tulips, and then also with the umbrellas. So super, super fun. Can't wait to play with that more, and I had so much fun making the projects I'm just going to show you guys today. So now I'm also using, I think I'll turn the camera down, show you the things that are on my table, and then we'll get really started. Okay, so hold on. Bear with me while I turn. Okay. We got ourselves turned. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff out here. So for, oh, actually, do you guys remember this? From, was it last week or the week before? I think it was the week before. So I made these these samples as variations on one of the projects I did, but I had to play with some other variations. And these ones you see here are the ones I showed, except for this one. So now this one is different because I used copper embossing powder instead of black. I was trying to go for that, what is it, verdigris kind of look. And I also did one with white embossing powder on the blue, and I can't find it for the life of me, but I didn't love how it came out. But basically, bottom line is, this technique is just so much fun with heat embossing, with using Versamark on your embossing folder. And then you can heat emboss with any color. So if you're messing around with the colors of foil and the colors of embossing powder, the possibilities are endless. So I just wanted to show you those because I had to keep playing with them after I went off camera. Alrighty, so for today's project, I'm going to be using the stitched shape framelits. I'm using this largest of the stitched shape squares. And I'm using my rectangle stitched frames, framelits right here, this size, so the second largest. And I'm also using, and this is all for the first project, my detailed hearts dies. So the first project is the most in-depth or complicated, has the most parts and pieces, and I'm using the most things for it. So what we're going to get started with is my big shot. And I am going to do a little bit of die cutting. So I'm basically creating a window. So this first project is a shaker card. And like I said, I have 2 variations of it. One of them is done in a Valentine's theme. Well, they're both kind of Valentine's themey. And the other one, well, one of them is more Valentine's-y. And one of them is Valentine's-y, but not as much. Okay, I'll just show you the projects. All right, so I'm just going to start with doing my die cutting. So I'm making an opening in my larger piece. Just run that through the big shot. So noisy. And I'm going to have my fabulous, wonderful little element creating a frame. It's so easy, right? And then I'll use this piece for something later. I don't know if you guys, but when you have the stitched edge, it's almost like it's sewn into your piece of cardstock, so it takes a little effort to get it off there. but I'm not going to use that piece right now. Move this other stuff aside. So who out there has made a shaker card? Anybody? Comment and let me know. Do you guys like shaker cards? I think they're very fun. Okay, so we're using a white card base, and I've got a piece of Pool Party. Now this project, like I said, goes with the Please This Punch Designer Series paper. That's what we're using. And I'm going to put this a little bit cattywampus at an angle, which is not typically my pattern. I usually like things kind of square on. But for this one, because it's a shaker card, it just kind of felt right to do it this way. All right, so I'm going to bring my other pieces in. And I've given us a jump start. So I have some flowers that I've punched out with my punch that coordinates with that flower designer paper. And I've also punched out a bunch of hearts using the detailed hearts die that I showed you earlier. So I did them in a variety of colors that would coordinate with the paper. Okay, so here's what we're going to start with, is doing the window. Yeah, shaker cards are really fun. And actually pretty darn easy, and really, as you will see here today. Okay. It's got a little, I won't say engineering, but there is a method to the madness. Okay. Got a little bit of paper residue in there. I don't know if you guys do this, but let's see. We used to sell these lovely little sanding blocks. We don't anymore, but they last forever, so if you got them when we sold them, you can still use them, and it's a great way to get off those excess little shaves of paper when you do your die cutting. Probably an annoying sound on the other end. Sorry if it's making an annoying sound. You can also use your fingernail. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to stop for 1 minute and think so I don't mess this up. Okay, so front side, back side. Okay, so what I'm going to start with, on the back side of my frame, and there is a front side and a back side, so you can see the stitching better. On one side, on the other side, it doesn't look so nice, so you want to make sure you're putting adhesive on the back side. So I'm just going to start with some adhesive on the edge. Now I could use some of my multi-purpose liquid glue, but you always run the risk of it sort of oozing out, which did happen a little bit on my original version. So I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to go with the more sure method. Okay, and then I'm just going to place it right over the adhesive, and that's my window. So this is the back side. And then I'm going to take some of my foam adhesive strip pieces, and I've cut them down so they'll be the right size. So I can have the pieces on the side. Just creating a frame, and it needs to be a closed frame. I should probably do the other piece first. Here we go. Make sure I got my sizing right. Okay, so I'm going to do the top and bottom first so I can line those up. Now I'm bringing them kind of close in to where the paper ends, but not all the way in, because I want to make sure I don't see it on the front side. But then if I put it too far out, especially on the bottom, then my things that are floating around on the inside are going to sort of fall down and get tucked down in, and you're not going to see the bottom of them. So that should be just right. Everybody still out there? Oh, a big emery board. That's a good idea, Kimmy. Alrighty. So there's my little opening. And then I also need to put some down on the bottom portion. This is probably too big. just so the bottom also stays lifted up, and on the sides. Alrighty, we are almost there with this part. Okay, now when you do your die cutting, like I said, with the stitched frame, there's a front and a back side. There's also a front and a back with your little heart-shaped pieces. So I've taken all my little heart-shaped pieces and I've placed them so that they're, you know, facing up, and the back side just has a rougher edge to it. It's subtle, but I notice these things because I'm kind of a detail-oriented girl. So here's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to deal with this piece first. I need some glue dots. I'm going to place those pieces down on my sentiment. So I've used a sentiment from the, what is it called? Poppy Moments. I'll show it to you. No, it's called Peaceful Moments. Peaceful and poppy. They interchangeable words in this suite. So it's the Peaceful Poppy Suite. So this one has the peaceful word in it, and the flowers has the poppy word in it. So anyway, Peaceful Moments. This is the stamp set I was referring to earlier as something you could get as an alternative to the painted poppy set if you already have it. So I'm using that Happy Birthday on this card, and then on the second card we're going to be using that one, that sentiment. So glue dot on the back of my bigger heart. Then I'll do the same thing on my little heart. Now this one I might need to ball up. So I'm going to get my paper piercing tool or my take your pick tool and just ball it up a little bit. And place it where I want it. Okay. Okay, really, there we go. So now I'm going to live a little bit dangerously. I think this is going to work just fine. Because I want to leave this as is, now you could put your little filling in here, but if I do that, then my hearts are going to turn. I'm going to have the back sides and the front sides, right? And I don't really want to do that. So I want the top of my hearts to just keep facing up. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it down on the designer paper. The way I did it the first time was I just didn't worry about which way the hearts were facing, and I put the filling in, and then I just took my designer paper and put it over the top. So I'm doing it a little bit differently this time. You can do it either way. This is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8, and of course the dimensions will be on my website tomorrow when my blog post goes live. Now I only took the adhesive off the top frame. I didn't take it off the bottom. So I'm not going to be putting it out down onto here and sticking to it, right? I'm not making that mistake. I'm just saying. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it right down on there. And I should be able to lift it up and all will be good. And it is! Yay! And you get to see the back side of that gorgeous paper on the back side. I do have adhesive on the back side of this. That's why I had it on my little plasticized sheet. So now I've got my shaker. Now if I wanted to, I could have left some of those hearts out and, you know, put them in a few places on the outside so I would be sure that, you know, I'd have shapes up high, but as it is, it's kind of staticky in there, so they're kind of floating around and sticking to the plastic. Always interesting. Alrighty, so I'm going to place that back down on there, and then this has adhesive on the back side, my little strip, and I'm just going to put it right across the front in the middle. And you probably can tell we're pretty close to being done. I did add a couple other little elements on my original, and I'll show you that in just a sec. Just some additional embellishments to play around with. And then I'm just going to put it on there cattywampus in the other direction. And it's just kind of this fun little playful shaker card. Fun, right? What do you guys think? Yeah, acetate is challenging for sure. I actually put I put a little bit of water on it to try to get the the static away. And then I also used my embossing buddy on there as well. And apparently it's still staticky because you can see it's kind of getting stuck a little bit in there. But that just means that, you know, those hearts will stay up kind of more towards the top and not just all fall to the bottom like this one somehow. Okay, this is my original, right? So they're floating around in there just freely, and here they're like sticking to the to the plastic, so who knows. So you can see here I've taken some of my hearts on this one, I'm sorry, my flowers, placed them, you know, strategically with a rhinestone in there. And of course I did my sentiment a little bit differently. And on this one I have a hearts attached in 3 places to the outside of the acetate. Again, so that I have hearts that are sort of in more of a controlled spot where I want them to be, so that, you know, whatever, so it'll just, they spread out. So there we go. There's my 2. Now I'll show you the other version that I did, which is more traditional Valentine's-y. So this saying here, the thinking of you with all my heart, that's what in my mind makes it Valentine's, that and the hearts. And then this is my other version. This is actually the first one that I did. It uses the From My Heart Designer Series paper, basically the same layout. I love taking a layout and redoing it in another color scheme and with different stamps. It's just so fun and easy to recreate. So that is my first card. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside and get started with the second one. Now the second one is actually even easier than the first, but I have done several versions of it, so I'm going to show you that. I'll show you the versions, the completed versions. Alrighty. So for this one, I'm using this fabulous crinkled seam binding, this white seam binding. It is the most versatile ribbon in the entire world. And I mean that. I keep using it because you can color it and do all kinds of things with it, and mostly coloring it, which is the part I love. So I'm going to show you some fun things with that. Okay, so this piece is 5.5 by 7.5, and it's scored at the 4 1/4 inch line, so I have my standard card size. And I've got some pieces in here that are close to being ready. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep that hidden. I'm going to be secretive. So I'm taking this ribbon and I'm going to color it with my Blends alcohol marker. So this one I'm doing in the light Highland Heather, and I've used a variety of the Blends markers on some of the other versions, so you get to see those colors as well. So it's just so simple to color this ribbon. A few weeks ago I shared a video with, I think I shared 4 different ways to color your ribbon. And if you're just doing, you know, one or a few projects, this is definitely the most versatile, the most controlled. You can even do an ombre sort of look if you want. You could use your 2 different shades or of a given color or more than one color. You can stamp on this ribbon with different images, whatever you want to give it some texture. Anyway, super, super versatile ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to do my what do I call this, an air bow. Making my 2 ears. Air bow meaning A-I-R because I'm doing it in the air. And ears because I got 2 ears. Just thought of that right now. Okay, so I'm crossing one ear over the other and then just looping it through. I always think of this as the way that children tie their shoes. Of course, these days they don't have to tie their shoes at all because all the shoes are Velcro, right? And then I'm going to do my little trick with my pencils. This is the only way that I use this kind of pencil because otherwise I use mechanical pencils. So I'm putting them in my little ears and I'm just going to grab onto the ends. It's like it gives me extra hands. Hi, Lori. Just happened to look up at the phone. Good afternoon. So you must be somewhere in the west of me, not in the eastern zone because I'm at 7 p.m. now. Okay, so I'm just going to, and I'm just controlling my little tails, and now I've done another one here. You can see this one off to the side, and I want to make it about the same size. Right now it's a little bit bigger than that, so I'm going to hold on to my pencils and just pull on the left and pull on the right. I did that backwards, but you get what I mean. And then I can sort of move the pencil to open up the loop if I want it to be bigger too. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And then this is what I call training my bow. Needs to be trained, told what to do, right? Training my tails, training the ears, and then you pull those out and you have this perfect little bow. I love my bows. And it looks like it's about the same size, probably close enough. And then I'm just going to grab my scissors and trim off those tails. So they're about the same size as the other one. Isn't that so delicate? So this is actually a Valentine-y card. So I'm using these Valentine-y light colors. So adorable. Just anything little and cute. I'm a sucker for it. Okay, so next I've got a piece of Highland Heather. This is gorgeous scrape cardstock. And I'm going to place that on the front panel here. Now, I did case this layout from a swap that I got. And of course I'm doing my focal element, this piece my own way in different colors. But loved the layout. There's a little twist to it at the end, which I'll show you. And then I'm taking this piece of the Please Just Punch Designer Series paper and just centering it right on there. It's 2 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/4, this particular one. And I sized it so that I'd have, you know, those hearts centered in there. And then I'm going to take my glue dots and I'm going to go ahead and attach my hearts. I'm sorry, my little mini bows. So I'm going to roll this baby up. There's not much room underneath the, you know, the little knot of the bow, so I don't want it to show. Let's lay these babies out first. And I put them on the same color as the heart. So this is how it's going to finish up. So just color-wise, this bottom one is a light Calypso Coral. This middle one is light Rich Razzleberry. You see I have to remind myself. And the top one, the one I just colored, is the light Highland Heather. So they're all the light ones. And I don't think those are exactly the same colors as what's on here because I believe this is Blushing Bride, but the colors just seemed to, they worked. I didn't have exactly the same blends as the colors, but I think that it all kind of fits together. So we got one more detail after this step to this card, and then I'll show you the other versions that I did. And I love this card and all the versions because, in part, because it's just so simple. And you guys know me, I don't always do simple, right? So I love it when I come up with something that's simple but not boring that I also love. So there's the almost completed card. Okay. Now, this last element, this has adhesive on the back side. I've taken my subtle embossing folder. I feel like I'm using it pretty much every week. And I've dry embossed just this right panel, this right section. So to the left will be a space to write with, and to the left, yeah, and to the right is this textured element that's going to stick out off the in the opening on the right-hand side of this card. So it just looks really fun, just a simple little texture there, you can see. But also, you know, if you're not too verbose, you want to be able to write just a little note, it's perfect because you don't have a ton of space on the inside. Not the card to send when you're, you know, writing a long note, but a little note, yes. So isn't that pretty? So pretty and feminine. I just love this one. Okay, so I can't wait to show you the other ones. Here we go. So I didn't do them all exactly the same. But I did do another one with the other half of the same strip of the heart designer paper. So you can see this one. Now this one was done in the Bermuda Bay, let's see, I have to remind myself, Mango Melody, which I actually am not sure that that's Mango Melody in behind. I think it might supposed to be crushed curry. And so Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, and Bermuda Bay. And those are all the dark blends alcohol markers. So anyway, I just love how those two turned out. So colorful, so much like a rainbow. It just makes me happy just looking at it. And speaking of rainbows, this is another version. So this one is actually the back side of one of the patterns. I think it's the back side of the hearts pattern. The flowers pattern paper. So there's the other side of what is that, if I'm remembering that right. And on this one, of course, I did a sentiment on there because I didn't have the cute little element with the ribbons. This one is colored with the Granny Apple Green blends alcohol marker, and this one with the Bermuda Bay, both the dark, I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that right. And then last but not least, this one here with the tulips, and again with the Granny Apple Green, and the two purples, Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. Anyway, I just had so much fun creating this set of cards and playing with this paper. What do you guys think? Isn't it fun? It's fun paper. So just leave your comments, share the video if you've enjoyed the projects, and just a quick little reminder on the announcements. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn the camera. Say hello, say goodbye, whatever we're doing here. Let's see. Okay. I have to get like right on top of the camera to see my face to turn it. Alrighty, so I hope you guys have liked those two projects, and of course Valentine's Day tomorrow, so happy Valentine's everybody. I can't neglect to say that. I hope you guys have a wonderful celebration, whatever you're doing something with someone you love. My husband actually has plans tomorrow, and I'm okay with that, but we're going to go out Saturday night to celebrate Valentine's Day. It's never too late to celebrate Valentine's Day. We should celebrate it every day, right? Sharing the love. And so let's see, just the quick reminders. Of course, tomorrow, the last day to sign up for the Painted Poppies class. Of course, you have until the end of February if you want to take advantage of my, suggestion that now is the best time to buy the starter kit. 3 technique classes from me, the electronic classes for free, no matter what you do or how long you stay. You can stay longer, of course, and I would love that. And it would be great to have you part of my Treehouse Chicks community. So let's see, what else? Next week, I'll be back on February 20th, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same channel. I guess that's pretty much it. You guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Feel free to comment, continue to comment, and I will respond and check all the comments after the fact so I can respond to each of you and say hello. I love doing that after my Facebook Lives. See all the comments that I missed. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Happy Thursday. Happy weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. Bye.